Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni G. Shafe. Well, let's look at some stories trending in the world of sport. We have to start from Nigeria. That has to do with the shooting stars of Ibadan right now. Well, IMC, Interim Management Committee, lift ban on the media officer of that particular club because of the fact that the former LMC that was scrapped actually put it on ban for the fact that he made a statement when a reporter or a journalist was beaten in Ibadan, and right now that particular ban on him has been lifted for the fact that he pleaded for clemency, and now IMC deemed it fit to forgive him and he should return back to his position as the media officer of Shooting Stars of Ibadan. I have in the studio Olawale Peters. Good to have you.
Good evening, Adeni. It's my pleasure to be here in the studio.
Yes, that story, a particular reporter, Adepoju, was attacked in Ibadan, and this particular media officer of Shooting Stars was trying to justify the fact that yes, it should have been dealt with even more than the way it was dealt with. LMC, that was the former scrapped LMC, felt well that wasn't supposed to come from you as a media officer, and the ban was placed on him. But now IMC has actually lifted the ban off from Tosin Omojola.
Okay, I think the statement made by the media officer of the 3SC Shooting Star, it's totally uncalled for, and the ban placed on him is justifiable. However, I didn't see any reason why they should lift the suspension or the ban now, currently. And I recall the incident happened last year around June against Remo Stars. That was when he made that statement. I think March 31, that's when he made the statement, and he was given a 1-year match ban. That's 12 months. So we are currently in March. He has just 3 months left to conclude or to finish the ban. So why now? Because the issue is, in this country, we have a way of setting the bad precedent. A bad precedent is that they will look at it that he has 3 more months. The issue is he has pleaded for leniency and he has been granted. Let it be known that once you are given a ban, that ban will sustain till the end. Because before they can give the ban out, they've done all their preliminary investigation. You'll be found one thing. This is not a prison time that they said, okay, because of good behavior, after 6 months or 8 months, they will reduce your, and you'll be on probation. Nothing like that. In fact, if they are even lifting the suspension, it should be that we are going to be on probation for the next 6 months to
assess your conduct,
your utterances. That's the truth. So if you want to do it right, we have to look at most of this. You can't get it right 100%, but I think lifting the suspension when it has just 3 months to go, it's not a good precedent as far as I'm concerned.
Well, from the way it is right now, IMC actually wrote a letter to affirm that. Let's look at that letter that was actually written by IMC. But the main thing right now is that they've forgiven Tosin Omojola, be informed that the sanction issued against Mr. Tosin Omojola has been lifted following his recent apology and appeal for leniency. Recall that on 3rd June 2022, Omojola, media officer, was banned from all MPFA-related activities for a period of 12 months for breaching the code of conduct for team officials through unguided media comments capable of bringing the game to disrepute. However, following this passionate apology, appeal for leniency and promise of better conduct in the future, the ban is hereby lifted, effective immediately, on the condition that Mr. Omojola will uphold the strictest standard of professionalism going forward. Know that any future breach of the MPFF framework and rules will result in more severe sanctions. The above is for your information and immediate compliance. I nearly say severe.
That's more like the template that they use to recall someone from suspension. So there's nothing new in what they've written. That's the truth. But that caveat, like I said earlier on, like being on probation for the next 6 months or 1 year, even though you have only 3 months left to serve your suspension, I think it is very, very critical that they really need to look into it. As far as I'm concerned, he has spent 9 months on suspension. He has just 3 months, and currently now the league is even on hold. The league will be resuming by end of the month. So I don't think there's any hurry in lifting that suspension, because at times, if you want to make a change, you have to be strict with your policy. You have to be strict with your sanction so that people will not take it for granted. And I also hope that he has learned his lesson from the suspension he came from.
And hopefully it will not be in severe
severe pain.
Because this was a severe sanctions. And we know, I hope Tosa Mangala will not be in severe pains when if he doesn't go with that particular ruling coming from IMC there, talking about the media officer of Shooting Stars, that particular ban has been lifted. Let's quickly go to the second story that has to do with volleyball. Volleyball is really growing in Nigeria. The president of Nigerian Volleyball Federation, Engineer Musa Nimro, donates 185 softball to states. He said he wants to make sure those balls get five each to each state, so the zonal representative, where they will give it to junior teams. They want to give it to juniors so that they can be able to have access to those balls for them to train in volleyball.
Okay, 185 softball. So, and I hope all the states where it sent the balls to, they have the facility to make use of the balls. Because as far as I'm concerned, I think the facility should be the priority, not the ball. If you have the ball but you don't have the facility to practice or to use the ball, what is the essence and what is the purpose and what's the reason of you giving the ball out? As far as I'm concerned, I think we have to itemize our priority, which one comes first. If you can't have it in all the states, maybe region by region. We have 6 geopolitical zones in the country. Let's have it in each region. It's only very few states that we know they have the volleyball court that they can make use of this. A good development, but more is expected.
Maybe it's also looking at, if you cannot get volleyball court, you can go to the beach.
To go and do what? They are two different.
Play beach volleyball.
No, we are not. This is not beach volleyball. This is strictly.
No, I'm just trying to
volleyball.
add some, at least maybe.
No. We shouldn't be maybe for them. We shouldn't be thinking for them. We should be telling them the right thing that they need to do. What he has done, a good work. However, what he needs to have done is to look at the facility, the court. Do they have it available or not? If they don't have it available, we should not be talking about a news that we've had additional 6, 10 volleyball courts to the 8 or 10 that we have currently in the country. Not the soft ball that will become softer if they didn't have any facility
where they will play it. Well, after all, we have a lot of primary school where they can play. But really, a good one there coming from the president of Nigerian Volleyball Federation, donating those balls across Nigeria to see how they can develop the sport of volleyball. Now, a particular player from Nigeria has been doing so well in Europe. His name is Victor Osimhen. Just yesterday, he won an award there where he got to win the Best Foreign Athlete Award in Italy. A good one for Victor Osimhen, who has really been inspirative for looking at this young man so far. He has done so well for himself, and a lot of people have been tipping him right now to be among the top when it comes to next African Footballer of the Year award.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be seriously surprised if his name is not among the African footballer, in fact the top 3 African footballer of the year, because you can't take it away from him. If you look at the continent of Africa, the only player that is making the African proud currently right now is Victor Osimhen. And with this award that he won, we're talking about the best athlete in Italy, not the best footballer. We're talking about all sports combined together. He is the best foreign, and we know the influence of African African sportsmen and athletes in Italy, and for him to have been voted as the best, he deserves it. Take it or leave it, and I'm not expecting anything less from a player that has scored 19 goals from 23 matches. Nothing is expected from them. Currently, right now, it's like no Osimhen, no Napoli. That's the truth. So a well-deserved award for him. Now, taking that into cognizance, the way Osimhen is really doing well, Oshoala too just scored in her 19th goal of the season. She's really doing so well when it comes to the women football, and a lot of people are looking at, wow, if you can be doing this, hopefully, if you can transfer this before the World Cup or at the World Cup, let's see what she'll be doing. The tree doesn't make a forest. Osimhen and Oshoala alone cannot do it. You still need other people to support them. And also, there's this adage that says, tell me your friend. Show me your friend, and I will know the kind of person you are. Oshoala and Victor Osimhen, they are best of friends. If you go to their Twitter page, you see both of them. The way they bant themselves. That shows that they are both doing very well. They are not just friends alone. They are also advising, encouraging, and motivating themselves. And we are expecting to see more of this in our professional footballers. Playing their trade outside the country, to be encouraging and motivating themselves. Oshoala, take it or leave it. She doesn't have anything to prove to anybody. She has won it. But what we are looking out for now for the World Cup, for the Super Falcon, is to see a teamwork, not an individual brilliancy. We're not looking at individually. We know we have good players, but we don't have a coach. I will say this again. We still don't have a coach that can bring them together to give them the teamwork that we are looking out for. So Oshola, I'm not surprised. Osimhen, I'm not surprised. However, we need more of that, and they should also continue to do the good work that they are doing.
A good one there. Maybe I should just chip in. Well, how did you feel that match against Gambia? Nigeria, Gambia.
Well, anyway, if you look at the competition since it started, we struggled. That's the truth. Then our midfield is being a bit open. We didn't play more from the midfield. That's the truth. If not because of the contention of the defense led by Solomon, who has done a very, very, very good job. Probably won't be where we are right now. And also, if you look at the Gambian team, that shows that you cannot push anybody over when it comes to football in Africa. Again, take it or you leave it. Who had expected a Gambian team would be the one to
qualify.
Before the match, sincerely, if you look at the record of the Gambian teams, when it comes to scoring, it's like they score at ease. So it's something that they've planned for. They are another emerging force in Africa. They're not only Gambia. Let's look at the Senegalese team. From their first match, we saw what they are capable of. Now we're talking about their under 20. And look at their senior national team also. Look at what they've been doing for the past 10 years. So that means they have a roadmap, they have a plan, and you could imagine what this under 20 team will do in the next 3, 4, 5 years. They are still going to dominate Africa. That is what we are lacking. That is what we are used to as Super Eagles, Flying Eagles, Golden Eagles. It's from Golden Eaglet to Flying Eagles to Super Eagles. But now you just hear a name from nowhere, no pedigree. After 1 or 2 years, you'll be looking for your replacement for that same player, and that is not what we need. And that is what the likes of Ghana, Senegal, Egypt, Algeria, that is what they are doing. They have a player that can serve them for the next 4 to 6 years. They have that player. If they didn't do very well this Nations Cup, you go to another Nations Cup, you do the same thing. So I'm not surprised by the Gambian team, and you see they will transform this into their national team very, very, very soon. I think we have a lot to learn from this. But the good part of it is that we've qualified for the World Cup. And that happens to be our target before even going for the competition, that our target is to qualify for the World Cup. More work needs to be done.
More work needs to be done there. Just digressing a bit concerning Nigerian team. The Flying Eagles were ousted by the Gambian team. Now, let's talk about the match that will be coming up. Lazio versus Eichmann, AZ Eichmann. They will play in the Europa Conference League. That will be the match that will be coming up also tonight. A big one for Lazio. They should underrate AZ Eichmann.
Well, you can't underrate Eichmann also and Lazio. Fortunately and unfortunately, this is the first time that both teams will be meeting in
Europa
Conference League. But if you look at the performance, the last 5 matches of the two teams, Lazio, they've been in superlative performance. Their last 5 matches, they are yet to lose any, including winning away from home against Napoli, that is seriously in form. So that shows that they have what it takes. Then Eichmann also, if you look at them also, they've won 3 from their last 5 matches, and both teams also, in their respective leagues, they are currently sitting 3rd on the table. So that shows that they didn't get to where they are right now by luck or by chance. It's by hard work, determination, dedication, commitment. That is what brought them to where they are right now. It's going to be an interesting match, and I will give it 50-50. Whoever blinks first, just like Manchester United blinked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and we saw what Liverpool did to them. Anybody that blinked tonight also, probably the same thing will happen.
I hope the person not blink 7 times.
Who knows?
Oh my goodness, just talking about Lazio versus AZ Eichmann. Both of them equal to the task. If you check the Eredivisie, you look at AZ Eichmann doing well. The battle for Scudetto also, Lazio also racing well there. Now, let's go to the big one. UEFA Champions League will also be coming up. It's going to be a battle to finish now because this is the second leg. You see, have a chance, 90 minutes. Benfica versus Club Brugge. In the first leg, 2-0 coming from Benfica. And for Chelsea, Dortmund, 1-0 in favor of Borussia Dortmund. Let's take it one by one. Benfica, Club Brugge. We have, let's say, possible lineup. for Benfica. Then we look at Club Brugge. For Benfica, now we have Odysseus Blaschodimos, Alexander Bra, Nicolas Otamendi, formerly of Manchester City, if you remember that name, Antonio Silva, Alex Grimaldo, Florentino Luis, Frederick Orsins, Joao Mario, Rafa Silva, David Neres, and you have Goncalo Ramos. Those are the players right now that are representing. That's a possible lineup anyway. Let's look at the possible lineup of Club Brugge before our analysts will be talking about it. Goncalo, we have Long there from Simon Mignolet, that's the goalkeeper. You have Jean Major, Brando Mitchell, Abaka Silla, Clinton Mata, Gaspar Nelson, Kamal Soa, Hans Van Aken, Noah Long, Ferran Jota, and you have Tyon Buchanan. Those are the players that will be facing that's Benfica. A tough one is going to be.
A tough one is going to be, but I think Benfica, they've won the match away from home by winning 2-0.
And they are playing home now.
And they are playing at home this time around, and it will be very difficult for the 2-0 to be overturned. That's the truth. And they are currently in form now. And if you look at the formation also, anytime you see 4-2-3-1 against 4-3-3, and you are a master of the 4-2-3-1, the possibility of you overpowering the 4-3-3, it's very, very there. The 4-3-3 formation is actually meant to be on attacking prone. So that is what Club Brugge wants to do. They want to go all out there to do what? To attack from the what, let's go. So that's why they're having 3 attackers up front. But if you look at
Benfica,
they are playing very safe. How are they playing very safe? 4-2-3-1. So the 2 there is what they call the defensive midfielder. They're going to be the bridge between the attacker and the defender. You won't see them crossing that line. That is their own job to do. And the 3 also, they are very, 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 very good when it comes to counter attack. So what they do is they make use of the wings more than the 2 defensive midfielders that they have. So this is more like when we have a counter attack, we make use of it. If we don't have a counter attack, we stay back and let's enjoy the game. So with this formation and with what happened on the first leg, I give Benfica the day.
Well, right now, let's see. Maybe Benfica will actually answer that and add more to the tally. They have 2-0 already. Now, let's look at Chelsea, Borussia Dortmund quickly. Let's look at Chelsea probables now. That's possible lineup. Kepa Arrizabalaga, Trevor Chalobah, Kalidou Koulibaly. You have Wesley Fofana, Ben Chilwell, Enzo Fernandez, Mateo Kovacic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Raheem Sterling, Kai Havertz, and Joao Felix. These are actually a possible lineup. 3-4-3.
Okay, and if you look at this formation, it shows that Chelsea is going for a win. A win in the sense that they are going to overload Loftus-Cheek and Ben Chilwell a lot. They will play both as a defender and also as a midfielder also. So they'll be going that line, they'll be playing that line from beginning to the end. They have the strength, they have the energy, they are used to it. And if you look at the attacking force also, Raheem Sterling, Kai Havertz and Felix also a very good formation. However, if you look at Chelsea last 5 matches, they've only scored 2 goals. So that is something to be worried about tonight. However, their form or the form of a team when you are playing your own league is different from when you are playing Champions League. And if you look at Chelsea team very well, they are, apart from Real Madrid, they are also a team that is very good when it comes to coming back to win from the first defeat. And if you look at the statistic, both Borussia Dortmund and Chelsea, this is the first time they'll be meeting in Champions League also. But the Chelsea team, they've met a German team 26 times. They've won 11 times. They drew 8 times and they've lost 7 times. That shows that they have a good record against German team. Then if you look at their matches that they've lost the first match, from the last 19 matches that they've lost the first match, their first game, they've won 9 out of the 17 matches. And from these 9, 4 of the matches, they lost 1-0 and they did what? They won the match also. And if you look at also, they are playing at home. Their last 9 matches at home, they won 7. They drew 1 against Salzburg and they lost 1 against Real Madrid.
That shows they have more power at home.
They have a good record at home in Champions League. And when it comes to coming back also, they have a very, very good record. That is it. But if you look at Borussia Dortmund, on the other hand, also, they are the only team in Europe that have not lost a match in 2023. They are the only team that are yet to lose a match
in 2023.
In 2023.
In the whole Europe.
In the whole Europe. And also they've scored 25 goals and they've conceded only 8 goals this 2023. So that means they are really, really, really informed. Since they've not lost any match since January, since the beginning of the year, that means their last 5 matches, they've won their last 5 matches. So they are very good informed. However, when it comes to the Champions League, they are not really doing very well. In fact, the only time that they won home and away in the round of 16 or quarterfinal was in 1996, 1997, and that was the only time that they won the Champions League. Apart from 1996, 1997, they've never won both home and away in any of their Champions League round of 16 or quarter final. So it's going to be a very dicey one, but if you look at the statistic, the analysis, I think Chelsea will have upper hand against Borussia Dortmund tonight. Good
one there. We've looked at Chelsea formation of probables now. Let's look at Borussia Dortmund possible lineup also. We can look at Alexander Meyer. They will be playing 4-3-2-1. That's probable anyway. Rafael Guerrero, Nico Schlotterbeck, Nicolas Soule. You have Mario Wolf, Jude Bellingham, Emre Can, Salir Ozcan, Marco Reus, Julian Brandt, and have Sebastian Haller. I'm really so happy for Haller coming back after that particular issue concerning his health.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very good one to have him back, and let's see what he can do also, because he wants to prove himself. And if you look at this formation, it's similar to the Benfica formation also. They are playing 4-3-2-1, and 4-3-2-1, like I said earlier on, is just to make sure that I have, like the other one that they have 4-2-3-1, their own is 4-3-2-1. That means they are having 3 midfielders who are defensive, but box to box. You can have a defensive midfielder, and you can have box-to-box defensive midfielder, like Emre Can, for example, is a defensive midfielder, but it's box-to-box. Jude Bellingham also is a defensive midfielder, but it's box-to-box. You see him up and down. So it's going to be very, very interesting match. Apart from the fact that the Chelsea, they have the statistics, they have the analysis above Borussia Dortmund, the tactics also, the coach tactics will also have something to play when the match starts. This 4-3-2-1 can be combined to 4-3-3, can be combined to 5-3-2. It depends on how the game goals that will determine what will happen.
We've been looking at UEFA Champions League probable lineup for all the teams that will be playing tonight. Chelsea, Borussia Dortmund, Benfica, Club Brugge from Belgium, and a lot of players have been doing the yeoman's job there, giving us those numbers and statistics. I call them the statistics. From there, let's quickly run through some stories in the world of transfer. We call them gossip. We call it transfer gossip. Newcastle United, we target Arsenal defender Kieran in more than £30 million move. Well, they want to go for almost all the players right now. Newcastle going for Arsenal defender.
Yeah, I think the best thing for him to do is to move. If you recall, in 2019, when he left the Scottish team, he left as the highest paid player by, I think it was £25 million that Arsenal bought in from the Scottish team in 2019. And in 2021, he signed additional 5 years with Arsenal. But the current Arsenal defense, we are talking about White, Gabriel, and Saliba, there's no place and no room for him. And it is someone that the country depends more on, and it's someone that he needs more playing time. So what can he do is to look for where he can get regular playing time. Can he get that regular playing time in Newcastle? Because if Newcastle should qualify for either Champions League or Europa next season, they want to buy in more players because they have a owner that has the money to spend. Now, will he be able to get that regular shirt when he gets to Newcastle, it's another question. I think he should look for a club where he can establish himself as a regular player.
Let's take it 2-in-1 right now. Arsenal are in the race. They've joined the race for Napoli striker Victor Osimhen. Despite interest from Manchester United, it's getting hot now. Liverpool, Man United, even Real Madrid, all of them are going for Victor Osimhen. We'll be coming back to Osimhen briefly. Barcelona to move for defender Emery Laporte, who wants to leave Manchester City. Barcelona to move for defender there. That's Laporte now. But let's focus on Osimhen quickly. Arsenal now, they've joined the bandwagon of clubs that are coming for Victor.
Yeah, I hope Arsenal will change their mentality when it comes to spending money or buying players to be able to go for Osimhen. Sincerely and honestly, Osimhen will fit perfectly into the current Arsenal team. They are young, vibrant, energetic. They have everything working for them. It will be their talisman because Gabriel Jesus that they bought is not a 9 like Osimhen. You see him more coming to the midfield to win the ball. Before he gets to the box 18, he will be tired. So they need someone like Victor Osimhen. However, can Osimhen going to Arsenal win in African Footballer of the Year or to be among the World Footballer of the Year? I think Real Madrid is still a sure bet for Osimhen.
If Osimhen can move to all these big clubs, that will be a plus for his career. We've been talking with Olawale Peters, who has done well giving us those analyses there. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Nadine.
Mr. Statistics. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.